When I have a thought, I gotta let it out. It's a bright spot that I can't even doubt. My opinion, my point of view, even if things are a little chopped and screwed. So yeah, even if you disagree. So yeah, even if I'm not in your pedigree. So yeah, especially if you agree. So yeah, so yeah.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to it. Welcome to So Yeah, the podcast where Caroline just talks shit and you kind of listen. Okay, let's start off really strong. Something that I feel like most people can relate to is driving, being in the car, on the streets, okay? Especially if you live in Los Angeles. I mean, I know this is kind of everywhere where people drive like fucking assholes. But in LA specifically, I swear to God, every single time that I'm on the road, I fear for my life. I almost get into an accident every single time. Every single time. I am fighting for my fucking lives. Yes, I have multiple, like a motherfucking cat. I keep coming back better than before. And one of the biggest issues that I have being on the road is people not using their indicator, their blinker. It's called an indicator for a reason, to indicate where you are traveling to. So if you just meander into the right lane without indicating you're going into the right lane, what the fuck are we doing? Just flick it. Flick it. Clearly you don't know how. Clearly your wife is struggling with that. Yeah, because you don't know how to flick it right. Okay, flick it and then move over. And then I have no problem with you cutting me off. Yeah, I might be like, what the fuck? In my car, but I'm not like pressing onto the steering wheel, onto the horn, because you drive like an asshole. Also, if you're gonna cut me off, you better speed the fuck up. You better be a speed racer, okay? There's nothing worse than when somebody cuts you off and then they go slow. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? And then also, when we get onto a highway and you are in the right lane and I'm merging onto the highway and you don't let me in, baby, this is called a zipper. Didn't we all learn this in driving school together? Hello? Driver's ed, education, we all missed the education. Open the schools. Open the motherfucking schools and go back to class. It's called a zipper. And that's how traffic alleviates itself, because it's a zipper. If everybody's speeding up in the right lane and then I can't get on the highway, that's causing traffic because you're selfish. So yeah. To kind of piggyback off of awareness on the road, I would like to bring up the epidemic that is spatial awareness when I'm out in public, okay? This hurts me the most when I am in a city or an airport when there is a congested amount of people, a plethora of bodies, and you think that you're the only person that exists in this lifetime, and you're walking and then you just stop walking. Babes, there are other people around you. Read the fucking room. Don't check your phone in the middle of a walkway. Were you born yesterday? Are you crazy? Clearly you are. Pull over to the right. Pull over, I say it in the slow lane, okay? Because let's teach this as a road. Let's take it as a road. You go into the right lane when you're going slow, and then the left lane is the fast lane. Pull over to the side. I don't mind if you walk slow. Just don't walk slow in front of me. Okay? And take up the whole goddamn sidewalk. Something worse than being in New York City and somebody walking down the street. Please move the fuck out of my way. And then don't get surprised when I make a comment to you. I'm like, oh, somebody's existing for the first time on planet Earth today. And then you give me a dirty look. I should basically punch the nape of your neck for walking so fucking slow. I'm gonna break those knees. Nancy Kerrigan, bitch. Okay? Tanya Harding. Boom. A boom. boom, boom goes the dynamite. And also with the spatial awareness, and I know I'm a dancer, so I have that innate spatial awareness. I've been spatially aware my entire life. There is nothing fucking worse, especially with summer being here, about a bunch of people visiting Los Angeles as a dancer and having zero spatial awareness in a dance class. What do you mean you're going to back up and not look behind you? Please look around and then adjust accordingly. If you are right up on my fucking grill, I'm going to make a comment to you. Because if I'm not going to teach you, who is? You're going to just meander through this life? Just bumping into bitches left and right? Also, if I smack you in the face and my arm is flailing because you're in my way, that should be a lesson. That is the lesson of, oh, maybe I'm too close to this other person. A smack on the face should cure you. Please open the schools. Please. Another piggyback moment off of spatial awareness and class etiquette. I'm going to talk about dance a little bit throughout this podcast because I'm a dancer. If you don't know, now you know. And there is class etiquette, okay? So it is like spatial awareness. We love that. And there is a hierarchy, if you will, of where you stand in the room, okay? If you are struggling in the class, and it doesn't matter what kind of style it is, I struggle in plenty of styles, okay? If I'm struggling in class, where I'm not going to stand is in the front of the room. Why do you ask that? Why, Caroline? Why wouldn't I stand in the front of the room? Because everybody behind you is looking at you, whether you want to be seen or not. The mirror is in the front. You're in the field of vision. The worst place for you to stand is in the middle of the front because everybody's focus is going towards the instructor who's usually in the front and center of the room. If you do not have the combination, if you are going down in flames, baby, take it to the back. Take it to the back. Hit the back seat. Go down in the back, flambe, bonfire in the back. I'll probably be joining you in the bonfire in the back, okay? But you're distracting when you're in the front doing it all wrong because 3 rows back, everybody is fucking up because of you. Yes, that is your impact by standing in the front of the room. Get it the fuck together, please.
So yeah.
All right, this is the part of the podcast where I talk about all the things that I'm currently reading, listening, and watching because as an artist, I love to consume art. I love to be inspired by art. And so this is just my opinion about the art that I'm consuming. So what I'm currently reading is actually this book, and this is a funny story, so a little side rant. It's also my podcast. I can talk for however long I fucking want to. Okay. So funny story, one of my childhood neighbors in like the first house that I grew up in, literally my next door neighbor, she is now an author and I supported her in her first book that she came out with, Love Light Farms, which that came out, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago, like started the pandemic. And she has boomed since then. There is now 4 books in the Love Light Farm series. She's, I believe, signed with Penguin Books. What the fuck? Okay, sis, you better go off. And they're really like fun in the sense that like I love like a lovey-dovey book. I love lovey-dovey books and I also love thrillers and memoirs. So like that's just kind of like my vein, what I like to read. And that's kind of like the way that she writes her books. And she came out with a book earlier this year called First Time Caller. And if you know the movie Sleepless in Seattle, it's kind of around that, you know, that kind of plot line where, you know, somebody who is single and has a kid, like call into like the radio station and like, you know, love ensues and all that kind of stuff. And I really liked it. I love a page turner. Sometimes I just need a book that's just gonna like get me through, flip the pages and kind of like cleanse my palate. Sometimes I read like really deep stuff and then I have to like swing the other side of the pendulum. And that was like that for me after I read Women Who Run with Wolves. So First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. And she already knows this because I told her, but I'm putting it on the internet because I like to manifest my goals, and I hope that you like to manifest them with me. So if and when, most likely when her books get shopped around to, become TV shows or movies, I need to be involved in these in some way, shape, or form. Meaning this would be the biggest full circle moment if I either work on the set in some way, if I dance in a scene, if I act in it. Baby, I can do everything. I do makeup. I can dance. I can act. I can exist. Okay? I can assist on something, but I need to do something involving that world with Miss BK Borison. Okay? I know that's right. As a fresh cinephile out the womb, I've been watching like a bunch of different movies. Anything from classics to musicals to camp classics. And recently I watched Party Girl with Parker Posey. I don't know why no one bullied me into watching this earlier. It's so good. It's so campy. I love a camp movie. And if you don't understand camp movies, then you just don't understand pop culture at all. The styling is incredible. The fashion is exquisite in this movie. The plot, so good. I love that it's like an indie movie. I would call it an indie movie. And it's incredible. She acts her face off. And I kind of I would say low-key see a little bit of myself in her. And I'm just kind of obsessed. Like Obsessica Simpson for real. Currently, what I'm listening to, I kind of got obsessed with Joe, DJO. And if you watch Stranger Things, I don't. It wasn't my thing. Don't hate me. Don't kill me. But he is one of the brothers in the show. I don't know. I just every couple years I get kind of in love with a different white boy, and he has a great head of hair, and he has a vibe to him. And he came out with a new album. I think he's had a couple albums in the past. It never really hit me before, but this album hit me. Hit me. And specifically what song on his current album really hit me was Delete Ya. I swear to God, I was stimming on that song for 3 weeks heavy, listening to it 10 times a day. And I normally don't do that shit. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what kind of potion he put into that song. Mama like a lot. Okay. Thank you so much for making it here. If you made it all the way through the podcast. And I'm just manifesting this part of the segment will be, sponsors and advertisements in the future, because that's what we do here. We manifest the life we want. Bitch, yeah. So this is where all the advertisements will go one day, so then I can get paid, so then you can get a discount code. So yeah, 20, I would love to give you that, okay? Okay. Till next time. So